We all know it's calories in, calories out, eat less, move more. So why is it so damn hard for high performers to lose weight? In this video, I'm going to break down the 9 problems you need to solve. Spoiler, none of the 9 have anything to do with macros, meal plans, or any weird supplements you need to take. So let's dive in. Number 1, stress eating. Work is busy, it's always going to be busy. And if you're waiting for it to quieten down, forget about it. This won't change if you're a high performer. So you've got to find a way to deal with your stress and your feelings without food, alcohol, or drugs. Weight loss and weight maintenance is 10% exercise, 40% diet, and 50% managing your stress and emotions. So I like to use a 3A framework to avoid stress eating or similar. Number 1 is to be aware. The first step is to ask yourself why. Do I want this because I'm actually hungry, or is it because I'm stressed, bored, or exhausted? 99% of the time, it's because of the latter. Number 2 is to act. The next step is to stop the act of grabbing the snack and move to the next step, which is number 3, adapt. You've done the hard work of spotting the feeling, stopping the action, so now you need to adapt. Instead of grabbing a snack, go for a walk, have a glass of water, or if you want a powerful breakthrough, sit with the feeling and try to understand why you feel the need to impulsively eat in the moment. Outside of the 3A framework approach to snacking, you want to create a system to eat well consistently when life is busy. That means having a structured eating schedule of 3 or 4 main meals a day, eating mostly high volume, high fiber whole foods, think mostly single ingredient foods, and hitting a protein target a day. A good aim here is to shoot for around 0.8 grams per pound body weight. Without a plan or a structure, the idea of a pizza after a hard day's work is much more appealing than a meal of chicken and broccoli. Sometimes the answer to avoid random stress eating is in a bit of pre-planning. Problem number 2. Unsupportive spouse. This one is the least spoken about. If your spouse isn't supportive, you need to deal with this head on. I've lost track of how many transformation journeys have been derailed because the spouse was giving them too much bullshit. If you can't get support at home, it's going to be very tough to make a change because you'll be constantly under fire. There's a few steps to take here. The first is to explain to him or her why it's important to you. The second is to see if they want to get involved with walks, meal preps, and so on. And if both fail, a hard conversation is needed. Because if your spouse doesn't want to see you get healthier and fitter, are they really the right person for you? Something I've used with my wife to always stay aligned is a weekly couples check-in ritual. We've done it since the end of 2019, where we have a dedicated journal and go through the following. Number 1, appreciations. And it's got to be a minimum of 3 to recognize the little things. Number 2, to-dos together, which is typically house or financial admin. Number 3 is plans for good times. So something in the diary, i.e. a date night for the next 7 days. Number 4 is opportunities to improve, which is where you get it out all in the open, give each other's constructive feedback. Number 5 is my daughter's milestones, because she grows too fast. And number 6 is weekly wins, big and small, professional or personal, whatever it can be. It's evolved over the years as we've grown into our relationship. We started doing this ritual about a year into dating. So this journal has helped us through a ton of life milestones, including multiple periods where I've pushed myself to the limit with a physical challenge like getting shredded on a vegan diet in 2022, competing in a fight in 2023, and now preparing for a sub 3-hour marathon in 2025. It's a constant anchor where we aim to keep communication open and clear and always moving forward. We found weekly to be the perfect cadence, and anything longer and it's easy to forget the little things and or let the opportunities to improve either build up or get missed in the moment. And what we found is, as life gets busy and time alone becomes more precious as parents, the importance of this weekly couples check-in ritual only grows. Problem number 3, social events. Life won't go on pause and say, right, you've got a clear diary for a year, go work on your health and fitness. So when you go out to eat at social events, you got to ask yourself, do you really need to eat 3 courses with a bottle of wine to have fun? Or can one carefully chosen main meal be enough? And here's an idea to just throw out there. What about picking a social event that doesn't involve food? Eating out is probably not going to stop for you. Whether it's client dinners, date nights, or birthday parties, there's always going to be something. So you've got to work with it versus wait for them to magically calm down. And if you're busy now, you probably won't be any busy later on. So when you next have a social event that requires you to eat out, the number 1 trick is to remember the following. You can always control how much you put in your mouth. No matter what the choice of food is available, how much of it you put in your mouth remains in your control. From a more tactical perspective, you can try sticking to the 1 plate rule. That means having no appetizers, no desserts, and no drinks. And on that 1 plate, you want to aim for half a plate made up of fibrous vegetables, where you ask for the sauces and dressings on the side. A good source of protein, so ideally 1/4 to 1/3 of the plate, and leaner the better, so chicken, fish, tofu. Although if they only have fattier cuts, that's going to be fine in the moment. And if you're in a fat loss phase, everything else just ask for on the side, and that would probably be the safest bet for yourself. If you're worried about what people will think, the reality is this: no one cares what you order or what you eat. And I'll come on to this more in the next problem. Problem number 4, your ability to say no. At some point, you got to say no. No to the after work drinks, no to the beer, no to the dessert, no to the peer pressure, no to your own bullshit as to why you can't get results. Start saying no more and watch how eating less and moving more becomes easier. I remember when my aunt was getting married in 2009. The build up to the big day was being hosted at my house. It was going to be a week of festivities, food and drink, a lot of it. I was 17 years old and I just started my fitness journey. And as the week began, all I could see was fried foods, sweets, curries, takeaways, beers, you name it. And I thought to myself, there's no way I'm eating all of that for a whole week. So I said no. I said no to the family members attempting to force food onto my plate. Said no to what over 50 people a day were eating. Said no to their ideals. And I was ridiculed by a few. What's wrong with you? What is Akash doing? Why don't you just be normal? All those comments. And the questions and comments continued to pour in through the week, and I was shocked. It was the first time I'd experienced criticism for trying to live a healthy life. Eat fried food and get drunk off alcohol? Fine and normal. Eat healthy and exercise daily? Weird. A few years later, it all came full circle. The same people who ridiculed me started asking me for advice. The same people who criticized said they wished they could do what I did. I then realized a few hard truths. Most people wish they could say more. No to the bad relationships, the shitty jobs, junk food, and bad habits. But expectations, fear of missing out, and social influences keep them trapped. Most use food and drink as a social crutch to make up for a lack of fulfillment in other areas. And the first no feels like the world is going to end. The reality is, no one cares. The people who say anything are usually defecting their own insecurities onto you. You don't lose friends when you say no, you only reveal the real ones. The more you say no to the things you don't want, the more times you can say yes to the real things you want to do in life. Do you want to see if you're ready to say no to bad habits, poor health, and low energy? Try my free 5-minute quiz today on www.rntfitness.com/transform. The link is also in the description below. As a bonus, you get a personalized scorecard and a free copy of my best-selling book, Transform Your Body, Transform Your Life. Problem number 5, your fear of facing your shit. High performers typically have a lot of issues around stimulants, excess food, or anything to numb whatever is going on in their heads. When you strip away the crap, there's nowhere to hide. But many self-sabotage their weight loss results by resorting to old habits and old behaviors. If weight loss were about eating less and moving more, it'd be simple. But most of the battle is in the mind. It's the new identity you want to adopt, fighting the existing identity holding you back, and luring you in with quick dopamine rushes. This is the real reason why snacking, stress eating, and a lack of control shows up, because food serves as an escape to the reality of life. Problem number 6, travel. Whether it's for work or leisure, there's always going to be a trip that's making you think now isn't a good time to get fit and healthy, or that it's just not possible for you to get results. It's all bullshit. I've seen it myself, where in the past 18 months alone, I've traveled for over 6 months whilst maintaining a six-pack and following a vegan diet. But more so in our members at RNT Fitness, who've got into the best shape of their life despite relentless travel schedules for work. Busy executive and dad Hemel here dropped over 70 pounds whilst travelling every 1 to 3 weeks for business. Sital here, busy mum of 2 and business owner, got into the best shape of her life on a vegetarian diet despite travelling to China on a regular basis for work. It's all possible, and I get real tactical in this YouTube video here, which I'd recommend watching if travel is your problem. But otherwise, here are 3 tips to implement next time. Number 1, get a quick workout in the morning. Hotel bedrooms are fine if there's no gym access. You can do a lot with just body weight and a set of bands. Number 2, eat protein and greens in the day and save carbs for dinner when you're typically more social and you want bigger portions. And use the solutions I gave in the social events section, problem number 3, earlier. And number 3, take protein powder with you to help satiety and hit protein intake, especially if vegan or vegetarian. Half the battle with travel is knowing you can still get results despite being away. If you can win this, you'll win with your fitness game. Problem number 7, poor planning and structure. Chances are you have a lot of responsibilities, kids, work, socials, family, whatever it may be. Without planning and some level of prioritizing, it's going to be a shit show. A quick solution is to spend 20 to 30 minutes every Sunday planning your week. Use Google Calendar or a diary and lock in your health non-negotiables like your walks, your workouts, and your meal preps. Put it in red, then create a structure in areas and times of the day you might be able to control, like early mornings or late evenings. And that way, you eliminate the tiny excuses that otherwise creep up in the moment. Problem number 8, an unfulfilling life. High performers are typically very externally successful, but that doesn't equate to meaning, fulfillment, and happiness. Without purpose and passion in life, we can easily seek comfort in food, drugs, and alcohol. Without meaning to our work, we can use crutches to take the edge off and help us get through the day, often without realizing. Anytime I've personally lost control of my body weight, it's been a sign of losing control in other parts of my life, or being out of alignment with my priorities and what I enjoy, which is creating cool stuff for my business, like this video, my physical health, and my family. Problem number 9, no accountability. High performers are their own worst enemies. You're the first one to let yourself down. So don't fall into this trap by creating a ton of accountability, like number 1, taking pictures every week in your underwear, number 2, recording your body weight daily, Number 3, telling your friends and family what you're doing. Number 4, creating a WhatsApp or text group with others on the same journey. Number 5, sharing your goals on social media to raise the stakes even higher. And number 6, hire an expert like the team at RNT Fitness. And if you're interested, you can book a call to find out by going to www.rntfitness.com/pro. And I've also put a link in the description below. So which of the 9 resonated for you? Let me know in the comments below. If it were as easy as eat less, move more, we'd see a lot more people in shape. But it's not. Everyone knows what to do, but few execute. The 9 reasons here are why most high performers struggle to take control of their own health. If this video resonated with you, I'd love for you to hit like it, hit subscribe, and share with a friend who needs to see this today.